Crazy people who shocked the world. Throughout history, some people were laughed at, ignored, even destroyed for their ideas. They were called crazy. Their ideas broke the rules of their time, but history proved them right. Let's begin. Ignaz Semmelweis, hand-washing saves lives. Ignaz Semmelweis was a Hungarian doctor in 1840s Vienna. He worked in maternity wards at Vienna General Hospital. He noticed high death rates from childbed fever among doctors' patients. The doctor's ward had 10–18% mortality. The midwives' ward had only 2–3% mortality. Semmelweis searched for the cause of the difference. He observed doctors performed autopsies before childbirth. Midwives did not take part in dissections. In 1847, he required hand washing with chlorine solution. Death rates dropped immediately and dramatically. Other doctors rejected his conclusions. They were offended by the idea their hands killed patients. Without germ theory, Semmelweis couldn't explain why it worked. He was dismissed, lost his position, and suffered mentally. Years later, germ theory proved him right and saved millions of lives. Rachel Carson, the birth of environmentalism. Rachel Carson was a marine biologist and writer in the mid-1900s. In 1962, she published the book Silent Spring. The book warned about dangers of widespread pesticide use. Carson focused especially on the chemical DDT. She explained how chemicals move through the food chain. These substances accumulated in animals and harmed ecosystems. She linked pesticides to cancer and genetic damage. The title described a future without birdsong. Chemical companies fiercely attacked her work. Industry groups mocked her as emotional and unscientific. Some corporations threatened legal action against her publisher. Carson endured these attacks while battling breast cancer. She died in 1964, shortly after the book's release. Government scientists later supported her conclusions. Her work led to the DDT ban, the EPA, and modern environmentalism. Barry Marshall, ulcers caused by bacteria. Barry Marshall was an Australian physician in the early 1980s. He and pathologist Robin Warren studied patients with ulcers. They found spiral-shaped bacteria in stomach tissue. This contradicted the belief that stomach acid killed all bacteria. They proposed that ulcers were caused by infection. Doctors had long blamed stress, anxiety, and diet instead. The bacteria were named Helicobacter pylori. Their discovery suggested ulcers could be cured with antibiotics. They published their findings in 1983. The medical community largely rejected their claims. Experts argued bacteria could not survive stomach acid. Drug companies had little interest in changing treatments. In 1984, Marshall infected himself with H. pylori. He developed gastritis and cured himself with antibiotics. Their work was finally accepted and earned a Nobel Prize in 2005. John Snow, waterborne cholera discovery. John Snow was a British doctor in 19th century London. In 1854, Soho suffered a deadly cholera outbreak. About 500 people died within a few weeks. Most doctors believed cholera spread through bad air. Snow suspected contaminated water instead. He mapped cholera cases across the neighborhood. Cases clustered around one public water pump. Snow argued the pump's water spread the disease. Local officials removed the pump handle. Cholera cases soon declined. The medical community largely rejected his theory. Doctors continued to support the miasma explanation. Snow died in 1858 before being vindicated. Later discoveries confirmed cholera was waterborne. Snow is now seen as a founder of epidemiology. Claire Patterson, the fight against lead pollution. Claire Patterson was an American geochemist in the mid-1900s. He developed ultra-clean methods to measure trace lead. His work began while dating the age of the Earth. He found modern humans had far more lead than ancient ones. Pre-industrial samples showed much lower lead levels. Patterson traced the source to leaded gasoline. Cars were releasing massive amounts of toxic lead. He warned of serious global health risks. Oil and lead industries attacked his credibility. Ethel Corporation worked to silence and discredit him. Patterson was excluded from scientific advisory panels. He persisted and continued publishing strong evidence. His work influenced the Clean Air Act. Leaded gasoline was phased out starting in the 1970s. Blood lead levels later dropped by over 80%. Alfred Wegener, continental drift theory. Alfred Wegener was a German meteorologist and Arctic explorer. In 1912, he proposed continental drift. He claimed continents were once a single landmass. He named this supercontinent Pangaea. Wegener noted South America and Africa fit together. He cited matching fossils across distant continents. He also found similar rock formations on separated lands. He argued continents moved over millions of years. Geologists strongly rejected and mocked the idea. Critics said Wegener lacked geological credentials. Many demanded a mechanism he could not provide. Some scientists publicly ridiculed the theory. Wegener died in 1930 with his idea dismissed. Later discoveries revealed seafloor spreading. Plate tectonics eventually proved Wegener correct. Gregor Mendel, Foundations of Genetics. Gregor Mendel was an Austrian monk and scientist. He experimented on pea plants in the 1850s and 1860s. He tracked traits like height, color, and seed shape. Mendel carefully cross-pollinated plants. He studied how traits passed to offspring. He rejected the idea of blended inheritance. He showed traits are inherited as separate units. These units are now called genes. He discovered dominant and recessive traits. Some traits can skip generations. His 1866 paper was mostly ignored. Mendel later focused on monastery duties. He died in 1884 without recognition. His work was rediscovered in 1900. Mendel is now known as the father of genetics. Galileo Galilei, champion of heliocentrism. Galileo Galilei was an Italian scientist in the early 1600s. He built powerful telescopes after hearing of a Dutch invention. His observations revealed Jupiter's moons and Venus's phases. These discoveries supported the heliocentric model. Heliocentrism placed the Sun at the center of the solar system. This view contradicted official Catholic doctrine. Galileo argued for evidence and mathematics over tradition. In 1616, the Church condemned Copernican theory. Galileo was warned to stop promoting it. He continued to defend heliocentrism publicly. In 1633, he was tried by the Roman Inquisition. He was forced to recant his views. Galileo spent his final years under house arrest. His book Dialogue was banned by the Church. He is now honored as a founder of modern science. Nikola Tesla, the power of alternating current. Nikola Tesla was a Serbian-American inventor in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. He briefly worked for Thomas Edison before leaving on bad terms. Tesla designed an efficient alternating current electrical system. AC power could transmit electricity over long distances. This threatened Edison's less efficient direct current system. AC allowed large-scale power distribution with minimal loss. Tesla also explored wireless energy, radio, and remote control. Edison launched the War of the Currents against Tesla. AC was publicly portrayed as dangerous through staged electrocutions. Edison promoted DC as the safer alternative. Tesla faced financial hardship and lost important patents. He received little recognition during his lifetime. Tesla died alone in 1943, largely forgotten. Many of his ideas were dismissed as unrealistic. Today, AC grids and radio technology confirm his legacy. History didn't listen at first, but time proved them right. Because progress often begins with someone brave enough to sound crazy.